Yeah, Cheryl, we are live here with City Councilman Mike Jones, and I know in the special meeting today, you said that for the last 3 years, you have been calling for the removal of the Confederate statues. You met some resistance when you called for that. How does this moment feel right now to you?
I think it's great to be a small part of history, but I just want to really just set the record straight. People have been fighting for this so much longer than what I started on council 3 years ago. Whether it's a Ray Boone, whether it's a Sally Hudson or Wes Bellamy, higher in Charlottesville. So it is just awesome to see these young protesters create these young protesters create what Martin Luther King called the beautiful community. And that's what he was shooting for. Out here in the streets protesting, you have black, black young men and women, white young men and women, Latinx young men and women, Asian. Everyone is gathering together to say Black Lives Matter and that white supremacy cannot exist and should not exist in this country. And so I'm proud of everything that these young Richmonders have done to get us to this point to where we can truly say that Virginia is for lovers.
What do these monuments represent to you, and why did you feel so strongly that they needed to come down?
I think it's beyond what they represent to me. They represent white supremacy, period, right? And so because of that, because it was an affront to American values even then, to perpetuate a lost cause myth, which is, historians have written on this for decades. I just believe we are writing and rewriting Richmond, Virginia, and Virginian history, which means that we are actually dealing with American history.
3 years ago, you called for the removal of the statues. They're finally coming down. What is next?
Man, hopefully we just can go on vacation. No, honestly, what's next? We have to begin to write a future. We have to begin to craft a new narrative that all people are welcome in Richmond, Virginia, on every street, on every neighborhood corner. But then, as we talk about removing knees from necks, we've got to move beyond statements and statues. We have to really look at investing in African American communities, investing in people of color to begin to rewrite the social injustice that we've endured for over 400 years.
What will you take out of this day? Is this something that you're going to remember forever? What do you hope people remember from this day?
A young black boy watching movies with the Klan and wondering whether or not they're going to come to my house. A young college student who was stopped by police, and I knew my rights, but I still let them search my car because that was the safest thing to do on a highway in Utah. A young black preacher learning about black liberation theology. All of that in me is being filled and fed right now. But we know that the fight doesn't end right here. This is not the end. This is barely a beginning to where we need to go. It's a huge step in the scope of history, but as we talk about the future and where we can go as a people, there's so much more work to do. So I feel invigorated. I feel a sense of renewal that, hey, the marathon continues.
Marathon continues.
Indeed.
Well, thank you for your time. I
Appreciate
appreciate it.
Take care.
Good to see you.